Todd, this one's got me fired up. I'll be honest. This episode I've been looking forward to. Welcome back to all of our listeners and watchers and viewers, and whether you're on the podcast feed or in the YouTube, or if you're in our community.agileforhumans.com. A lot of people watch this in a lot of different places. We've been going through the manifesto principles. So agilemanifesto.org is where you can find the manifesto of Agile software development. Todd and I have been relating it back to Scrum teams and Scrum practices wherever possible. This one today, Todd, though, oh man, this is like our jam. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Amen. Mm-hmm. But we don't talk about this enough, do we? Mm-mm. I mean, the collective we, like the community, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to start with the word continuous attention. So let's just wipe out the fact that we can't design architectures perfectly up front. It's impossible. Right. So the best way to mitigate the risk that we're drawing ourselves into a box is to pay continuous attention to technical excellence. So gone are the days where we are operating by the fact that we need big designed upfront architecture. Here are the days to say that our architecture needs to be emergent. And I think continuous attention to technical excellence tells us the path to get there.
Yeah. I remember working in a startup, and there was a director of tech who was just bent on building out this insane, it was doing like some analytics and some really interesting data science, but he wanted to build out this huge Cassandra cluster of, to store data and indexing and millions of dollars, and went down this crazy big expensive path. And guess what happened, Todd?
Didn't use it.
We pivoted. Turned out a MySQL cluster worked just fine. Did what we needed it to do. And of course they scaled later, but it wasn't to near what this other investment was. It was just insane. And so, of course, to Todd's point, it's continuous attention. It's incrementally building out great technical solutions and practices and architectures over time alongside your product. These all enhance agility, but technical excellence is also unit testing, automated testing, mob programming, pair programming, behavior-driven design, emergent architecture, all the different practices that you can, all the complementary practices to Scrum that you can think of that enhance technical excellence. You see, without these things, you can't go fast and you get slowed down. And so without automated builds and automated test suites and the ability to do automated regression testing, and without these great technical practices in place, you can't deliver instantaneously. You can't deliver quickly. You're delayed on all of these things. And so your agility is brought to a screeching halt. In fact, Todd, what you've said one of the smartest things I've ever heard in an Agile context. Actually, you've got a couple really great things that always rattle around in my head. One of them is skip the transformation. Don't spend millions of dollars on the big box consultancy. Fix your architecture first. Mm-hmm. Invest the millions in your architecture, and then watch your Scrum adoption be 1,000% simpler. I think
I made the mistake of telling a CIO that once.
I think it's some of the best advice you've ever given, and no one wants to hear it because that's real work.
Yeah.
Right? That's real work. Coming up with a Scrum playbook and paying a consultant $10 million to teach the teams. Mm-hmm. That's not real work. But
then let's add in there the layers of scaling to cover up the fact that we don't have technical excellence and our design isn't even good. And like, notice I was going to point out the word too here. It doesn't say perfect design. It says good design.
Yep.
Perfect is the enemy of good, and good is what we need, right?
Well, and the problem, Todd, is, to your point, is that they'll take a bad design, terrible technical practices, drop safe on top of it, and pretend like the world's fine. Well, PI planning went great.
Awesome.
Your architecture sucks.
Yeah. You have 8 teams on a train, all building 8 different products with completely tightly coupled architecture, and you have to deliver at the same time because they're so tightly coupled. Spend the money on fixing it.
Yeah, this idea of technical excellence and good design. I love how, Todd, you pulled out the word good. I love this idea. It needs to be good, and it should be emergent, and it should be continuously paid attention to, right? We're refining and improving as we go. That's how you enhance agility, right?
Mhm.
I think we did it. We burned enough bridges for this one.
Yeah.
End screen time. Be sure to check out the community.agileforhumans.com. Check out the socials. Like and subscribe. Never miss a video. Click that bell. Leave us your comments and questions. We love your comments and questions. They turn into future videos. Speaking of videos, some are going to pop up below. Check those out too. We think they could be helpful. For Todd Miller, I'm Ryan Ripley. Go out, check out, talk to your team about your technical practices and the architecture. Is there an opportunity to invest now that would enhance your agility later? Maybe bring that up with your management as a Scrum Master. Tear down the boundaries that are and blockers in place to getting those things done. Work with your teams and see if you can improve that. All right. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.